Hello everyone, Known a Consequence here with episode 11 of my Keep on the Borderlands Adventure Module playthrough series. And here is the player character roster. We have 6 characters being run by 6 different people. However, in the previous episode, Killian the Thief was turned to stone by a Medusa. Where we left off last time, the characters had discovered another flight of stone steps leading deeper underground. However, the hallway they were following also continued on to the south, so the characters decided to keep going in that direction. After a couple of turns in the corridor, the characters arrived at an open space that appeared to be a storeroom. The characters spread out and began searching through the crates and barrels, but they held only mundane supplies. The characters then heard a slithering sound coming from just beyond the doorway. The source of the sound soon appeared in the torchlight. It was a gelatinous cube. Everyone except Iggy ran up to engage the creature in combat. The monster lashed out with a pseudopod against Galen and scored a critical hit. Luckily for the cleric, it rolled the lowest possible damage. However, Galen failed his saving throw versus paralyzation against the attack. As a result, he remained stuck to the creature, and it began drawing him into its body. Galen was quickly absorbed into the gelatinous cube, where it would immediately begin to digest him. The other characters continued attacking the monster, and it was soon defeated. Working together, they then managed to pull Galen free from the cube's body before he was seriously harmed. The characters were now drawn to this particular corner of the room, which was strangely free of any storage crates or barrels. The Sunflute and Girhan began searching the walls for secret doors. And sure enough, a secret door was eventually discovered. It opened up into a corridor, which immediately turned south, but the space ahead was dark. The characters filed through the secret door and into the hallway beyond, which stretched off into the darkness to the south. The hallway led to a dead end, with a skeleton lying on the ground. The body appeared to be that of a long-dead adventurer, as evidenced by the rotted and corroding equipment it was carrying. However, the characters did find some monetary wealth, as well as a pair of magical boots. The characters were convinced that there must be another secret door here at the dead end, and it didn't take Girhan long to find it. The secret door opened into what appeared to be a living space, but it was not illuminated. The characters went inside and quickly realized that they had been here before. This was in fact the private quarters of the Knoll tribe's chieftain. However, the place was now obviously deserted, and so the characters returned back the way they had come. The characters then went back to the steps they had previously bypassed. They found a door at the bottom of the steps, but Torstein could see that it was bolted shut. It took the combined efforts of both him and Girhan to bash it open. Entering the room beyond, the characters realized that it was a tomb. There was a coffin in each corner, along with stone pedestals to place future coffins upon. Torstein and Girhan opened one of the coffins, and it contained a skeleton. The characters were certain that it was about to animate and attack them, but nothing happened. So, Torstein and Girhan moved over to the nearby coffin and prepared to open that one. Suddenly, the lid flew open on its own, and a wight jumped out. It landed on Girhan and began savagely attacking him. Torstein dropped his torch and backed up, as did the Sunflute. This left Girhan to fight the creature alone. However, Galen the cleric did run up to help, and Torstein finally re-engaged as well. Together, they managed to defeat the monster. The Sunflake then inspected the empty coffin and found a few magic items hidden in a secret compartment. He distributed them among the party members, but Girhan got nothing for his troubles. The characters then opened the other coffins, being more on their guard this time. However, nothing else dangerous or of value was found. Next, the characters moved to return to the main level of this lair. However, the stairs back up was blocked by a small horde of zombies shambling down the steps and clamoring for the characters' brains to eat. The Sunflake took one down and occupied its spot, but that dangerously exposed him to attacks by other zombies. Thorstein and Girhan beat down some more zombies, opening up space for other characters to enter the fray. After defeating the remaining zombies and reaching the door leading back to the main level, the characters found that it was barricaded from the other side. Thorstein and Girhan combined their strength and finally managed to force the door open again. Once outside, they saw that the door had been barricaded by overturned bunks. Even worse, there were evil cultists a short distance away and who were beginning to cast spells. The Sunflake threw his spear and scored a critical hit. He then rolled the maximum possible damage. This was enough to kill one of the cultists outright before he could finish casting his spell. Unfortunately, the spells from the remaining cultists were not kind to the party. Both the Sunflake and Iggy were struck by a paralyzation-type spell, and they suddenly could not move. Seeing no other options, the remaining characters dragged those two into an empty room just off-screen to the north, where they hoped to establish some kind of defensive position. Thorstein slammed the door shut and prepared to defend it. He soon heard a lot of movement and muffled voices just on the other side. The characters then heard the now familiar voice of the traitorous cleric calling out, demanding that they surrender. He promised that no harm would come to them if they willingly surrendered. Needless to say, the characters declined his offer. A short while later, the characters heard clawing and hissing at the door, and they realized that the cultists had brought another horde of zombies to break into the room. Galen responded by taking a nearby brazier and dumping the hot coals on the ground in front of the doorway. Eventually, the zombies managed to break through the door. As soon as they did so, Thorstein threw a snowball in hell Christmas gift item he was carrying. However, he did not target the zombies, but rather the evil cultists standing in a group behind them. Luckily, the fireball destroyed all the cultists except for the traitorous cleric himself. However, he did not stick around. He turned and fled deeper into the caves. Meanwhile, the mindless zombies just shuffled into the room to attack the characters, but they were soon defeated as well. The characters were assisted by the pile of smoldering coals on the floor, which burned the zombies. Alright, well that's all it for now. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Leave a comment if you can. Let me know what you think. If you have not yet, please consider subscribing, and anything you can do to help support the channel, I appreciate it. Thanks again. Bye for now.